What's going on, my friends? I hope you're having an amazing day as always, and we're going to have a little chat about what happened today. It was a very huge day, revolutionary day for the American people, for freedom, for prosperity, for transparency, all of that stuff. So we're going to talk about the House Intel Committee vote to send the FISA Gate memo to the President of the United States, and also FBI deputy, or whatever his role was, Andrew McCabe, step down. So we're going to talk about all that. Let's wait about 30 seconds for people to get into the live stream. Thank you guys so much for joining. As always, you can follow me on Instagram at DreamRare. That's DreamRare on Instagram. And that's also the name of my online shop. It has shirts and hats. If you're into supporting and spreading good energy in the physical realm, DreamRare.com. My Instagram is DreamRare. My Twitter is Legendary Energy, spelled just like that. Legendary Energy, one word. I have Rare Talk Podcast. I'm about to record a new episode tomorrow. Very excited about that. My website, legendary.vision, has all my social media links and whatnot. Links to my music as well. Let's wait 10, 15 more seconds for people to come in. And I want to talk about the FISA Gate, the hashtag release the memo, and why it's a huge deal. But we'll find out very, very soon, because that memo is most likely going to be released to the American public. And it's very crucial. Thank you guys for joining. So today the House Intel Committee voted to let the FISA Gate memo go to the White House. And what is the FISA Gate memo? It's a memo that has been written by people in the government that saw some ridiculous information and felt the need to get it to the President and the United States people. If you're new here, you might not know. If you've been following or you've been listening to other news sources, or if you've just been using your eyes and, paying attention to what's going on, like for me, was not that hard. I've never been very politically involved, but I just saw how ridiculously rigged the system was, and I thought that was obvious. I thought everybody knew that the Democrats and the Republicans were working together. It was like a lesser of two evils sort of thing. And you look at the media, you look at celebrity culture, you look at Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google, they're all lying on the daily. They're all kind of pushing people in one direction. So for me, it's not that hard to, consider what is in the FISA memo, which is that the FBI, deep agencies, and people at high levels in the FBI were working actively with Hillary Clinton, with Barack Obama, to undermine President Trump, to spy on him, to use fake information and fake documents that they funded themselves. We already know that. That's literally already news. People will say, oh, well, that's a conspiracy. You made it up. No, you could just search and find out. The DNC and Hillary Clinton, they made or self-funded the Russian dossier, which they then used to open up some sort of warrant to spy on President Trump. I mean, the whole thing is a giant setup, and it couldn't be more obvious. I mean, all you have to do is open your eyes, and you can see all of the deep-rooted establishment people, all of the old Democrats, all of the old Republicans, the entire media structure. I mean, I don't know why this is even, it's going to be breaking news to people, but, it's just so blatantly obvious. I can't even believe it's controversial to talk about. But the only reason it is because on the daily, Twitter lies to people, Google lies to people, the whole celebrity elite class is lying to people. Politicians like Adam Schiff lie to people every day, and they keep people in this confusing loop of fake news and reverse narrative, so people believe the opposite of what's going on. But it's a very, very big day, because whatever is in that memo is most likely what I just said, and it's such a big deal that the FBI director, the new one, Christopher Wray, seen some information, and the FBI director or deputy, whatever his role was, Andrew McCabe, stepped down today. James Comey was fired, the old FBI director. There's people who were fired from the Russia Council, Mueller Council investigation last month for sending anti-Trump text messages, and then the FBI said that they deleted all the text messages. Oh, we don't know where they are. I mean, it's really just common sense. It's breaking news. I know everybody's excited. That's why I came to announce this stuff, because I know it's a big deal today. But I mean, how obvious could it be? It's we're talking to ourselves over here, because the people that don't understand, maybe this will give them more of an understanding. If it's official, it's kind of like when the WikiLeaks broke and everybody's like, oh, can you believe that? It's of course, all you have to do is pay attention, and all that's basically right in front of your face. But for some people, I guess it takes official documents and it takes memos, to be released and be like, oh my God, did you know that your government was like colluding together, starting a bunch of wars and trying to undermine President Trump because he's, not playing part of their game? It's like, whoa, no way. Like, I mean, I don't know how much more obvious it could possibly get. I know people who are very intelligent, very smart, good people, but they still like are so low level when it comes to politics. They're like, oh, well, who knows? Trump could have been working with Russia. And it's just like, at this point, hashtag release the memo. I can't wait for President Trump's State of the Union address. Don't listen to what the news says about it. Don't listen to what NBC has to say about it or NPR, because a lot of journalists, I would say a high percentage of journalists are low energy crabs, which means that they're just low energy people that like to feed off of negativity and they like to drag other people down. That's why they sit behind their computers, typing all these passive aggressive negative things like Trump drank his water the wrong way and I wish he did this and I wish he did that. It's not real journalism. Real journalism is supposed to be, oh my God, like real journalists would love to release the memo. That's why you see me excited, other people excited, like the memo and like the FBI using fake information to collude with people and collude with the media and, undermine the presidency, like a bigger scandal than Watergate, which is going to be released to the public. And I guarantee you what they've been doing, not only just this with the spying on President Trump and using fake information to like create a whole illusion. I mean, I can't think of a bigger crime in my time besides all the wars they start and the fact that they just go around the Middle East feeding people fake narratives to kill African and Middle Eastern leaders. I mean, that's a pretty big crime too, but, I guess people haven't caught on to that either. But, what could possibly be a bigger crime, at least in the last year, than everything that they did and the fact that they've created a whole Russian narrative to hide all of the crimes that they've done? I mean, these people, to me, are just sick, psychopathic criminals. I think a lot of people are starting to catch on now. As you've seen with the Grammys, the ratings are down. I mean, the ratings on the internet are up for all people telling the truth. It's like people like President Trump keep winning. The liars keep losing and they keep outing themselves. The social justice warriors will drag anybody down. They don't care if you're, black, white, woman, whatever. I mean, they're just out for blood. They just want to literally destroy society. It's like they want us to like bend over, sit in a corner and just, let 10,000 grenade explosions happen on the streets like they do in Sweden, or a bunch of acid attacks like happened in London. Finally, Twitter talked about it today. They were like, hey, a prankster did an acid attack, and that's not nice, because there are real acid attacks. So for the first time in a year, they admitted that there's acid attacks in London. And it's like, if you're in the United States and you're like, hey, do you guys see the hundreds of grenade explosions in Sweden? Or do you guys see the thousands of acid attacks in London? They're like, what are you, a big racist? Don't you just want to close your eyes and listen to the celebrities and, just not have any rules or laws and just like let anything happen? It's like, I mean, it's like embarrassing. I have better things to do, honestly, than even go over this stuff. It's like, I talked about this stuff last year. The modern day media and the modern day like people who believe the media, they're holding all of humanity back. I mean, I saw a good tweet today. They're talking about the Chinese are cloning monkeys. Like, they're literally cloning monkeys. And we're sitting here talking about, oh, you're male. You have a male privilege, and it's not fair because I don't make the percentage of money that you make when you factor in all the jobs and you factor in all the genders and you divide them, and then like, even though we make the same money at this job, like the whole sum of how much money I make compared to what you make, I mean, they're cloning monkeys, and you're sitting here making up fake narratives, like, so you could circle jerk on Twitter and talk about, oh my God, I feel upset because I don't even understand. It's like you have celebrities making multi-millions of dollars. They're like 27, living the life that we couldn't even fathom. And they're like, it's been so hard for me to get here because I'm a woman. And somehow I'm in my 20s and my dreams have already come true. And I have 8 mansions. But it's tough for me because there's guys out there who make more money doing what I do. And I think I should make that amount of money. It's like the narrative is so ridiculously pathetic. I don't know how anybody like puts up with it. It's so ridiculous. But back to what's going on. I mean, you're talking about the FBI collaborating with a presidential candidate And they're not even going to talk about this in the memo, but I'm going to tell you, and I'm making a huge video. It's going to be out in the morning. It's going to get, hopefully, millions of views. It probably will. Not to talk it up, but I really like this one. It's really simple, really easy to understand, and very telling. But not only is the FBI working with Hillary Clinton, working with, deep government agencies, working to actively make stuff up, lie to everybody on the media, and using the lies that they've created through some fake British spy agency to then make everyone believe this stuff. I mean, besides that, you have Twitter, Facebook, and Google, and YouTube, which is owned by Google. You have all of the major social media networks. They're actively collaborating as well. Why do you think everybody believes this stuff when it's so blatantly fake? It's because they're all playing the game. I don't know if they're just useful idiots, dum-dums, or if they're actively signing stuff behind closed doors. Personally, I just think they're really, really dumb. I don't think they're in on it as far as what the FBI and Hillary Clinton was doing. That's a whole setup bigger than Watergate. I mean, you're talking about so much on the line. I mean, it's hard for me to even explain or get into how big the crimes that they've done. They've manipulated the masses, they've lied to people, but the good news is it's not working anymore. I mean, they're losing every step of the way. They lost in England with Brexit. They're losing now to Trump. Trump's changing the whole political landscape, and it's they're lying about him on TV, but then they're behind closed doors trying to copy him. You seen Hillary Clinton, she's like, "Hey, my bitches," and I'm just quoting her, don't shoot the messenger, but she's like, "Hey, bitches helping bitches." She's trying to be cool saying bitches to women. It's just so pathetic. I don't know. I'm just at a loss for words at how pathetic they are. But, the things that they've been doing, the media lies, the spying on President Trump, the making their own fake documents and fake narratives to justify these whole councils led by this guy, Robert Mueller, who, people who hate Trump, they're like, "It's Mueller time, bitches." And they start saying bitches now. And I'm like, whoa, relax. But they're like, "It's Mueller time. It's Mueller time." It's like, dude, Mueller literally hand-delivered uranium on a tarmac to Russia during the Uranium One scandal, where Hillary Clinton and her cronies sold $140 million worth of uranium, 20% of the United States uranium, to Russia, just to then turn around in half a year and say Russia's taking over the world, we hate Russia. They sold uranium to them. It's not a conspiracy, it's a literal fact. That's why they're being investigated now by Jeff Sessions. I mean, and then they convince everyone Russia's so bad, it's Mueller time. I mean, it's so dumb. I just don't even feel like talking about it. That's why I'm having fun with it now. We're joking and whatnot, but it's I've been talking about this stuff since 2015. It's the same thing. It's they have me on this stupid loop. I could be in a lab with the Chinese, cloning humans or cloning monkeys. I don't want to even clone monkeys or humans, but they're doing that. And we're sitting here making up fake news. We look pathetic. Just like President Trump says, we're embarrassing ourselves on a worldwide scale. Nothing that they're talking about on TVs, they're making up stuff. It's the best time ever to be a woman. You have a privilege as a woman. You have feminine divine power. You have energy. You have the fact that, women are beautiful creatures, both intellectually, spiritually, and physically. The news won't tell you that you already have power. They're like, "You're weak. You're not powerful." I mean, look at history. This is the greatest time ever to be alive in humanity. This is the golden age of humanity. We're living dream lives. Meanwhile, the politicians that the media has everybody celebrating, they're going around the country working with cartels, working with terrorists, killing people, spying on political opponents, rigging the whole media. And you have Trump trying to bring freedom and prosperity back to people, cut the taxes, make it easier to start a small business. I mean, everyone is successful, living their lives. You have rappers who came from nothing, making tens of millions of dollars. You have, women, people of all races, religions, and genders crushing it in the United States. I mean, you look at the chart of median incomes, it's white Americans aren't even top 10 anymore. It's Syrians make more money, Chinese people make more money, Indian people make more money. Not that it even matters, but I'm just saying the narrative that they make up is wrong about almost everything. So the FBI memo, the FISA Gate memo, got delivered to President Trump. It's such a win, and the media is going to try to spin this in any way possible. They're going to say it's a Republican conspiracy. I mean, it's just mind-boggling trying to have to debate their stupid stories all the time. I mean, this is my message to people who've been watching YouTube videos and conspiracy videos and all these sort of documentaries for years. You know about collusion. You know about secret societies. You know about all that stuff. That's something that people have been researching for like 20 years, 30, 40, 50 years, talking about secret societies and stuff. And I'm not saying that all of the conspiracy theories are true. Some of them are not. Many of them are not. But what I am saying is the fake news media, Twitter, Facebook, Google, like the New York Times, the Washington Post, MSNBC, CNN, all of these people, they're trying to tell you that secret societies are just a Republican conspiracy. Like, are we that dumb? I don't care if it's Democrat. I don't care if it's Republican. I don't care if it's Green Party. I want the truth. I know that secret societies is not a Republican conspiracy. It's been a conspiracy of people that aren't really politically biased. They're just deep diving for the truth. So it's like every day the narrative just gets dumber and 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 dumber. Celebrity culture gets dumber and dumber and dumber. The award shows get dumber and dumber and dumber. Even like my favorite rappers, the people that I think are the nicest and kindest rappers, like Logic, for instance. I think he's a very intelligent, very kind rapper. When it comes to race relations, Logic is half black, half white. He keeps it very real. He keeps it very honest. Unlike J. Cole, who I also love as a rapper, but J. Cole's like, yo, I don't like white people, and he's half white, his mom's white, and he's literally half white, so it's like, I like Logic's approach to race relations better, because he's just like, whatever, man, it's just people, one love. But even Logic's talking about like, he's like, we're going to stand here, and we're going to help the immigrants, we're going to save the... No one's not helping the immigrants. You're believing fake news. That's how dumb everyone is. They're like, no one's threatening immigration. Millions of people continue to immigrate to the United States every year, and it's never going to change. We're talking about people from specific regions where there's cartel and terror organizations. It's the reason there's so many acid attacks in London, and there's so many grenade attacks in Sweden. We don't want grenade attacks, and we don't want acid attacks to become a part of everyday life. Because if they become a part of everyday life here, the media is not going to talk about it. They're going to cover it up. Because it doesn't fit their narrative of like, let's blame, Americans for everything. So they'll be like, how dare you not get acid attacked in the face? What are you, racist? Oh, you don't want a grenade to explode in your neighborhood? What are you, some sort of xenophobe? I mean, this is how stupid that stuff is, and celebrities keep believing it. So I say to the celebrity culture, to the rappers, all this stuff, pay attention to this FISA Gate memo. You want to talk about being anti-establishment? You think you're anti-government? This is it's just so mind-boggling. Like, I don't even want to get upset about it. I want to go play basketball. That's what I'm going to do later. But forever, hip-hop has been anti-establishment, and celebrities have pretended like they're for the people. Now they're the most loud when you have an anti-establishment president bringing down the FBI, changing, these are people that no one elected. Glenn Greenwald says, who is a liberal truth teller on the liberal side. The CIA and the FBI, they are permanent power factions in Washington, D.C., who people don't vote for. When's the last time you voted for the FBI director? People don't vote for them. They just stay there, and they exercise their power no matter who's president. And when it came to President Trump, they wanted to exercise their power and undermine his presidency. That's not how democracy works. That's why we have elections every 4 years, so we could pick somebody new. And this is all happening, all this stuff I'm happening, but no celebrities talking about it because they're too stupid and brainwashed. It's so just embarrassing because they act like they're anti-establishment, but they're getting really loud defending the establishment, defending the people who've been there for 20, 30 years, who knows more, calling the shots, and not calling the shots to help the black community, doing the exact opposite, flooding the black community with drugs. And then when a real journalist does their job and is like, hey, these people are flooding the black community with drugs, they get killed, and then nobody says anything. They're like, I'm John Legend, and I'm going to vote for Hillary Clinton. I mean, this stuff is just so bananas, how stupid it is. It's just a waste of my energy to even talk about it. But I did want to make a broadcast of the FISA Gate memo has been sent to the White House. This is a huge, huge deal because this is written evidence and there's physical evidence all around. It's not a smoke and mirrors like fake news Super Bowl. Like they're like, James Comey's testifying, and you got all these kids in checkered shirts in New York City breweries like drinking beer like, oh man, this is the Super Bowl. James Comey's really going to bring Trump down. And I'm not hating on checkered shirts. I have many myself. I'm just saying that's what happened when the Comey testified, Fast forward a year later, nothing ever happened. Hillary Clinton's under 3 investigations, one for the Uranium One Russia scandal, and people in checkered shirts are like, oh my God, my God. It's like, just pay attention already. They lied to you the whole year. It's embarrassing that you thought that was a big deal. But this is the real Super Bowl, because the real collusion, the real propaganda, the real everything is about to be unleashed. And it's already just everywhere. And the people keep winning and winning and winning. And people keep understanding and understanding. I mean, it's just so basic. It should be basic for every truth teller, for every conspiracy theorist, for every Republican and conservative. Obviously, Republicans and conservatives have become even more woke because President Trump just crushed the whole Republican establishment. He just leveled up the Republicans times 10 millions, and Trump walks around just banging their heads together. He's like, come here, Paul Ryan. Come here, Mitch McConnell. Good boy. Like, Trump is just running the show. He's crushing it. And it should be obvious for every liberal, too, because liberal values are diversity. And diversity means diversity of thought. Diversity means true diversity. I'm a liberal in that sense, but what modern-day liberals are doing is the opposite of diversity. They're saying, oh, you're a woman? You're a black woman? You're a black man? You're a Latino man? You're a Latino woman? You have to think this way. And if you don't think this way, if you don't want open borders, if you don't want illegal immigrants to get free college, if you don't want refugees who are doing acid attacks and explosions all over Europe, if you don't want them to come here, you're racist, sexist, and xenophobic. So nothing about liberalism is happening in the modern day liberal movement. It's been hijacked by neoliberals, neoconservatives, and, you know, people who just make stuff up. It's hard for me to even understand, because even 10 years ago, you want to talk about the Democratic Party? They were anti-gay marriage. They were not liberal in that sense. They were like, I mean, look how much has changed. Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama were both anti-gay and anti-gay marriage. So you really think these people are leading the movements in the right direction? You guys have, crowned Hillary Clinton the queen of the LGBT community, and she didn't give a shit about you guys 10 years ago? And now you think she cares about you? No, they're hijacking every single movement. It's just embarrassing how obvious it is, because nothing about anything they're saying makes sense. It's the opposite of liberalism. They're trying to bring people to the country that will literally destroy everything that you know and love. And you think that's okay because of diversity? We're not talking about diversity. Bring over the Africans. Bring over the Mexicans. Bring over the Central Americans and South Americans. Go ahead, bring millions of them. Just don't bring over people who are going to acid attack and do grenade explosions. So in certain parts of the country, we should have a temporary ban. And in other parts of the country, if there's 10 million people trying to come in legally, why would you just let millions of people come in illegally and then give them everything? What's the point of following the law then? Might as well just go to Mexico, throw out your social security number, chop it up, jump over, you know, open up credit cards and just scam the whole system. I'm not saying that's a great thing, and I'm not looking down on people who are illegal immigrants. Much love and respect, but I'm saying, what's the point of having any sort of laws if they don't even apply? So nothing about the modern day liberal situation makes sense to liberals. So in that sense, if you're a true liberal, true conservative, true whatever, true truth teller, conspiracy theorist, whatever they want to call you, pay attention. The FISA Gate memo, the State of the Union address, all of these things that people have been talking about for 20, 30 years, they're unfolding over your eyes. It's not the Illuminati. It's not like this big thing that we don't know about. We know exactly what's going on. People are piecing it together right in front of your very eyes. But the revolution is not going to be televised. It's not going to be in the social media news section. That's what Gil Scott-Heron would say if he was alive today. He would say the revolution will not be in the featured news section on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, because they have algorithms to filter out the truth. That's what was happening, and I'm going to prove it with my new video tomorrow. So stay tuned early in the morning. Check out. I was editing it today, and it crashed, and I have to redo it, but that's all good. You know, for the people, much love. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless the world. God bless America. God bless the universe. And God bless all the animals. I just want to say, please check out this memo when it's released. # release the memo. You have deep elements of the government colluding with a presidential candidate, somebody who is the president. I mean, the amount of collusion that they were doing and the amount of criminal activity that they were doing, It's times 10,000 of what President Trump has ever done. I see all the stuff about President Trump. I've read it. I know about it. It's not like I'm closing my eyes. I get it. But if you want to talk about what Hillary was doing and Barack Obama was doing and other people deep in these agencies were doing, it's all unfolding. That's why they're all stepping down. That's why the head of Google stepped down a month ago. That's why Andrew McCabe stepped down. There's a reason they're leaving, because they're pooping their pants, because their whole thing got exposed. They went all in on Hillary Clinton. Their whole cabal went all in and they lost, and they're losing every war. They're losing the presidency. They don't have the House or the Senate. They're losing social media. They're rigging everything and they still can't win. They're rigging algorithms. They're rigging every part of social media and they still can't win. YouTube is rigged. I'm going to show you how it's rigged tomorrow. It's not a conspiracy. It's a fact, and I'm going to prove it. YouTube is rigged. Twitter is rigged. Facebook is rigged, and they still can't win. That's how much they suck. So just pay attention. The collusion, the criminal activities are very real. That's why everyone's stepping down. America is gaining back some of its trust. We still have a long way to go, way more than President Trump, but just pay attention to this stuff. That's all I say. I don't care if you agree or you don't have to like President Trump. To be honest, I didn't like President Trump at first too, but I weighed all the stuff that they said about him, and then I weighed all this other stuff, and I was like, oh my God, it's 100,000 times worse. And then I say to people, have you heard about Uranium One? Oh, no, what's that? I know they don't know about it because Facebook won't tell you about it. Twitter won't tell you about it. Google won't tell you about it. The politicians won't tell you about it. The TV won't tell you about it. And if they do tell you about it, they immediately have ways to shut it down and make it seem like it's not real when it is. I get it. But pay attention, because if you think Trump is bad, just wait till this memo comes out. And they're going to try to write it off. They're going to try to say it's fake news. But the truth will be revealed. It's already being revealed. The power is too much. We're in the golden age of humanity, and they lost. They went all in on this election. You know, there were times during the Trump presidency where I was like, oh my God, they might have him. They've literally been doing a silent coup against President Trump. It's not even silent. It's a loud coup. It couldn't possibly be louder. I mean, Glenn Greenwald and even Democrats on TV, like Dennis Kucinich, people always correct me. They're like, you didn't say his name wrong, whatever. He's on TV being like, yo, the deep state is having a silent coup on President Trump. It's obvious. It's not silent. It's everywhere. I mean, the coup is in the streets. It's on the television. It's on. You can't even log in anywhere. You can't even live your life without being bombarded by the very loud coup. So it's not even hidden. I mean, I don't even feel like talking about this because it's so blatantly obvious. I just keep getting dumber and dumber every time I have to repeat myself for 2 years. The Chinese are cloning, you know. There's people talking about going back into space, back to the moon. You know, we have all these sort of inventions. You have solar technology. You have, you know, all these sort of cars and like new computers coming out. And there's like robots doing backflips. And here we are talking about privilege of male. That's how corny we are. We're not this corny. We could show love to women. We could show love for the weak. We can help the weak. We can help the poor without being complete fake losers, because everyone else is doing cooler stuff than us now. We're supposed to do the cool stuff. Thank you guys for listening. Much love. Check out this information and check out the State of the Union. Listen to Trump speak for himself, because they will twist everything he says like the low energy crabs they are. And he may talk about this FISA Gate memo. Very big deal. They made a fake dossier. They funded it themselves after they literally Hillary Clinton funded the whole DNC. She bought the whole section. It's like Trump buying the Republican Party. She bought the DNC, worked with them to fund a fake Russian dossier, used all this fake stuff that they made up as means and justification to spy on the President Trump, to spy on Trump Tower, to try to upend his presidency, to start a Russia investigation council where the head of the Russia investigation was part of the biggest Russian scandal in United States history. This stuff is so twisted. You have to be a Looney Tune to actually believe this stuff. It's crazy. It's absurd. But the FISA Gate memo is a very big deal, and it outlines all of this stuff I'm saying and more. Who knows what else is in it, but it's the first time there's written evidence of it that's going through the judicial process, and it's already in the hands of the President of the United States. FBI director stepped down. Google head stepped down. I mean, everybody's stepping down because they're pooping their pants, because they really tried to rig the election, just like everyone knows it's a possibility, and they lost. and they keep losing. So now they're trying to save their own behinds. That's what's happening. Let's see it if President Trump or the memo gets released to the public, so we can really see all the information. That's my thoughts about it. Much love. I'm going to put my links below. If you'd like to pick up a shirt or hat, do so. If you'd like to support and donate, I appreciate it. It's giving me more time to do stuff. Starting a whole news network website. It's coming out first week of February. A whole website, news section, a politics section, a good energy section, a straight to the point news section. It's going to be, if we play our cards right, the best, most honest, most simple news site ever. Leave back the ego, leave back the bias, leave back all the hate and negativity, just good vibes and to the point news with sources and all that stuff. We're not doing anonymous fake news and making up, conspiracies about people we don't like. It's not going to happen. Podcast is going well. So much stuff is going well. I appreciate it. I've been working very, 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 very hard every day, all day, and that's all good because I enjoy it. And I appreciate you guys for helping me make my passion, which I would be doing anyway. Even if I had a full-time job like I did last year, I would still be here doing the same stuff because I can't not do it. It's in my soul. It's in my heart. I'd be doing it anyway, but now I'm able to do it, focus on it more, spend more energy. I edit all my videos. I do all that stuff. I don't have a whole team. You guys are the team. I appreciate you guys on Twitter who've been tagging me and people like Joe Rogan and Mike Cernovich. Your energy and your help has helped get their attention. They've been sharing some stuff, not Joe Rogan yet, but thank you guys so much for helping. You definitely are the team, and it's going to be a big year. Thank you so much again. I am forever grateful, and I'm forever working very hard to keep it as real as possible. Have a great week. I'll be back tomorrow morning with one of my best, if not my best video of the year. It's going to have part from an old video, the one I did about Trump and Aziz Ansari. I'm going to use part of that, but it's going to be a compilation, and I'm just going to debunk the whole shithole countries and the Russia stuff. It's going to be completely debunked. It's going to be one of those that you can tag your friends in, and if they're even semi-honest, they'll be like, oh my God, that's crazy. I can't believe that was happening. So that's what we're on. I'm going to go play basketball. Have a good night.